The main cause for using igus plastic bearings was the need to develop a quick change system of maintenance on our pedal.
The use of these components, because of their lightness, excellent wear resistant and self-lubricating capacity, turned out to be essential.
Due to these positive properties of iglidur plain bearings, we can also comply with the strict environmental regulations by eliminating additional lubrication.
igus drylin linear bearings are lubrication-free, hence it is suitable for us to direct clean it using water and detergent. It is clean and FDA compliant.
Good morning, good afternoon, ni hao, annyeonghaseyo, konnichiwa, and thank you very much for joining us. Welcome to the igus News Press Conference 2022. These are trying times for many reasons. Today we focus on what we can influence ourselves, innovations for technology, for better machines and maybe a better world. And for our customers. 188,000 customers bought Motion Plastics in the last 2 years. They did this partially for fast delivery. We expanded our production and storages drastically since 2019, and these expansions continue as we speak. We are building right now a new factory in Cologne, 20,000 square meters for R&D centers, offices, and production, and we build in many of our international companies. The second reason, though, is that more and more customers achieve great successes with Motion Plastics. And these successes can be grouped in 3 benefits. Number 1, improve what moves. You'll see today some groundbreaking new products that give our customers new possibilities to design oil-free, lightweight, low noise, and low cost. Second benefit, CO2 neutral and zero plastic waste. Zero plastic waste in the whole chain, that sounds like pure fantasy. You'll see some new solutions that are in practice today. CO2 neutral. Our plant in Cologne, or in our facility in Cologne, we are 95% CO2 neutral. We'll show you today how this translates to our products and therefore to our customers' products and to the environment. And our third big goal is to make it easy for our customers to work with us. Yes, to make it fun. And you'll see new offerings in online tools and digitalization today. With all these innovations, it's important also to say what our customers value already in our day-to-day operations together. From all the Motion Plastics products in our portfolio, I brought this little bushing. And customers in the most demanding industries selected construction machinery, agriculture machinery, chemical plants, cars, bicycles, and even in space. And they work. And they work without a drop of oil. Customers can calculate their life online safely before they use it. There are CAD tools, selection tools, and tutorials. Customers get it in 1 to 3 days and can, in 80 countries in the world, and can assemble them immediately. And this is what some of our customers consider a miracle, all this for 20 cents, 20 euro cents. This bearing, for example, 14 millimeters inside at 500 pieces, costs exactly 19 cents. So this is a good point to hand it over to Tobias. He leads the bearing division, and he's the first presenter of what we consider the top news for your readers and your audience in the year 22. And he'll start with, it's about 37 minutes, the whole show, and he starts with more about the 20-cent miracle and that we now make it in 100% recycled material. Tobias.
It's a small miracle what an igus plastic plain bearing can do. It ensures that applications can operate without lubrication or maintenance, underwater, above water, in fully automatic coffee machines at home, as well as in industrial production, in space, tractors or bicycles. And now it's even more sustainable. First, today we are presenting the first plastic plain bearing program in the world which is manufactured from regranulate, meaning production waste. This is a true small circular economy miracle. But what does this mean? We offer plain bearings from 4 different materials in 12 different sizes, entirely made of recycled production waste. And the service life of each of these plain bearings types can be calculated online, of course. They also undergo the same testing and quality control as any other igus plain bearing does. They achieve almost identically good properties and as comparable standard plain bearings. Second, in addition, we have calculated the CO2 footprint for all 16 standard iglidur bearings from our catalog. For this purpose, we have calculated the energy balance of the complete manufacturing process of the granulate, as well as the entire process of refinement and production at igus for each individual size and each individual material. The values for each article are available in our webshop since April. All of our motion plastic products are completely free of grease and lubrication, making them the answer to a worldwide problem: pollution caused by the leakage of lubricants that often end up in our groundwater. 50% of all lubricants sold worldwide end up as pollution. 1 liter of oil contaminates 1 million liters of water, and a total of 27 million liters of grease pollutes the environment every year. However, we do not only research on topics such as sustainability and freedom for lubricants, but also constantly work on making our plain bearings more even durable, efficient and innovative. We perform around 11,300 tribological tests each year in our test lab to develop materials that meet the highest requirements in customer applications. Our plain bearings undergo tests for wear, friction and noise on almost 100 test rigs with over 750 test stations. We do all this to test both their properties and their service life under different loads. The result are 60 materials which we offer in the form of standard bearings according to the DIN, and many other designs. Customers can calculate the service life of each bearing online or order it from stock. The material expertise flows directly into all motion plastic product areas. And today we will present some of the innovations that this brings out. For example, an extremely quiet 2-component ball bearing and a tiny 3D printed geometries. My colleagues Lena and Tom will tell you more about these innovations now.
Imagine a bowling ball rolling over a wooden floor. Do you hear the rolling sound amplified by the soundboard of the floor? This is exactly what happens in a ball bearing made of hard race rings. Structure-borne noise amplifies the volume. It gets even worse when such a bearing is installed in a resonating body. A soft running layer, on the other hand, dampens the noise and prevents the transmission of structure-borne sound. By pairing 2 motion plastic materials in the bearing rings, we were able to combine the respective advantages in terms of stability and noise development in the best possible way. True to the motto, hard shell, soft core, our 2-component ball bearing has been created. The blue layer in the ball bearing takes over the dampening properties and is also highly wear resistant. One disadvantage: the material is very soft and could fall apart in a one-component variant in the worst case, especially at high speeds. To ensure dimensional stability while maintaining low noise properties, we decided to combine the soft material with a hard shell. Since the soft component is molded into the hard shell, the balls always run on the soft component, all supported by the hard shell, of course. The distinctive design of the shell ensures better adhesion of the materials and prevents the running layers from separating. To keep the balls at a distance, a wear-resistant cage made of iglidur J3 is used. The two-component ball bearing, a world innovation which is both smooth running and dimensionally stable. We see our 2K bearing in use wherever high speeds and low noise emissions are required. For example, in ventilation technology, such as bathroom, roof, or computer fans. And now to my colleague Tom with the world innovation in 3D printing.
3D printing is getting more and more important because it offers new possibilities for designers and scientists. As you know, in 2021, supply chains weren't globally not as good working as they should be. And 3D printing can and is a solution to that. In Cologne, we printed last year more than 200,000 wear parts from lot size 1 to 10,000. But this can be also very big wear parts, up to a size of 3 meters, because this is a new big scale print service, what we already showed to you last year. This year we are going to the opposite, down to 35 microns, so 0.035 millimeters. This is half as thick as your hair. And this is the new resolution of our new DLP 3D print service. DLP is direct light processing, where a liquid resin is partly hardened by a projector. The advantage of this new printing method is it's now possible to print super fine wear parts and gears with a super shiny and smooth surface. As you see it on the gear, the shaft of the gear is reflected on the part. This shows really good how smooth and shiny these surfaces are. But what's the new thing? The new thing is we developed a material which is especially made for wear and friction. In the first step, we tested 10 DLP materials, which are the 10 most used materials on the market. And you see the lifetime is more or less the same. There are no big differences. And we know the lifetime is not good because it wears really quick down, and therefore it's not really good suited for all kinds of wear and friction parts. In the next step, we developed and tested lots of different formulas until we found our favorite, our iglidur i3000, which is the first DLP material especially made for wear and friction, and where the lifetime is 30 to 60 times higher compared to all tested DLP materials. Therefore, I'm super excited for all those new customer requests and applications for super fine wear parts and super fine gears that last just as long as regular parts.
The sustainable bearing, the 3 times quieter ball bearing from Lena, the super small 3D printed component with 30 times longer service life from Tom. And our materials expertise also flows directly into the linear technology. Because in all linear units from igus, there is a plastic gliding element or a gliding foil as the heart. Stefan will tell us about the quantum leap that this igus research could make for the field of linear technology.
Welcome to the igus DryTech laboratory. Today I would like to tell you about a sensational breakthrough in the tribology of dry running plastics. The sensation is called E3. For more than 40 years, igus has researching tribology, the study of friction and wear, in order to achieve further quantum leaps. There have been a lot of groundbreaking developments in recent years. Among many other things, an extremely abrasion-resistant bearing material for linear technology called A160, which can be even used in direct contact with food, and that meets the requirements of the Food and Drug Administration, the so-called FDA. After years of research and countless tests in our laboratory, our developers have now managed to produce a material that has a sensational coefficient of friction. In many everyday situations and in industry, coefficients of friction determine the suitability of materials for specific applications. The pairing of materials is an important factor here, because not every material slides in the same way. One conclusion is, low coefficient of friction means low driving force. And maybe you know this from your last winter holidays when you prepared your skis or your ice skate blades to get faster. With our new development, E3, the coefficient of friction of the plastic glider in combination with the coated aluminum rail is below 0.16. If you compare this to some standard materials, you can see an improvement in the coefficient of friction of up to 40%, and even more compared to conventional bearing materials. I would like to add, the systems are dry running without the usual external addition of oils, grease to the bearing point. The right recipe, the necessary preparation of the material and the precisely coordinated processing of the polymers are part of this secret of the coefficient of friction. In addition to the suitable base polymer, this also includes the optimal fiber orientation and length and the smart addition of friction-reducing solids. Slight changes in the treatment of the material quickly lead to significantly worse technical parameters. Therefore, we pay attention to the highest precision and care when compounding, mixing, drying and processing in the injection molding process. The new material that I am going to present to you today is called E3 and will be used immediately in our linear technology. To describe it more precisely, in the miniature TK14 series. This small linear guide is suitable, among other things, for laboratory technology, desktop devices, medical technology, and so on. Because paired with its lack of lubricants, low weight and quiet running, this linear guide shows its strengths here in particular. In summary, what does this development mean in practice for the user, for you? First of all, the new phenomenal coefficient of friction offers operators an even more comfortable and easier moving of the slider in manual, hand-operated applications. Second point, in the case of motor-driven applications, the motor force can be reduced, or at best, the motor can select it smaller, since the driving force required is significantly reduced and energy is saved. And also, perhaps the most interesting point for designers is the new freedom of design and the construction. The 2:1 ratio that has been dominant for decades, which states that the maximum distance between the drive and the bearing, maybe twice the length of the bearing, is being replaced. For this linear system, there is now a 3:1 ratio, and the installation space for positioning the drive is increased by 50%. Summarized, I would like to say, the required moving forces reduced by 40%, energy requirements for motors reduced by 40%, and installation space and design freedom expanded by 50%. Thank you.
As igus, we want to be the easiest company to deal with. And that is why every customer and prospective customer who is interested in our motion plastic product on our website should quickly find the right plastic solution. And of course, delivery must also be fast. Already today, every igus product can be calculated online. That means that I can calculate online in advance how long, for example, my e-chain or my plain bearing will last. Today, we already have over 58 online configurators with which this is possible. By the way, in 2021 alone, the number of times online services such as these configurators have been used on our website has doubled to 5,000 per day. New and from now on, this calculation is also possible for special components, special bearings or drawing parts, whether angular or round, no matter what geometry the part has. For any surface that is tribologically loaded, the new tool calculates the service life of the component. In addition, information is provided on the production process, 3D printing, injection molding or milling, and the recommended material from which the product can be manufactured or ordered. This way, the tool bundles the various production processes and materials at igus and relates them to the customer's individual component. The great thing about this is that you no longer have to compare the materials and production processes yourself, but that is done by the new tool, and you can also order a special component whose service life you already know. In addition to this completely new tool, we have also optimized a lot of existing online configurators to make them even simpler and more user-friendly. For example, we have turned our CNC online service on its head and implemented a much easier operation. Pricing is easier, you can upload multiple parts, view scale prices, online design adjustment can be made that directly show the pricing changes. And now we will see from Michael what's new from the energy chain side.
Thank you, Tobias. Welcome also from my side. We have learned a great deal in recent years about digital sales and have repeatedly taken on challenges. We asked ourselves how we could enable our customers to experience our product when we couldn't present it live on their premises. Searching for support in modern engineering, we discovered Govies. The word is a hybrid of game technology and movie. Govies make objects interactive, and we have gradually introduced them for some of our products. For example, a customer can view and rotate our clean room energy chain, can turn it, can see inside the product through exploded views and have them described in text. In some cases, we then placed our Govies directly in relation to the application, so that the virtual product presentation shows practical use and the customer can see exactly what igus products can be ordered for a complete solution. This can be seen here in examples of our microflitz chain and Autoglide 5 for material handling. The customer can see exactly what components this complete solution requires and can order a complete set. We call it an I set from the online shop in just 3 clicks. These are complete assemblies for an application with no need to collect the individual parts in the shop. In addition to our virtual trade show, which we have been conducting online for 3 years and constantly refining with innovations, we are working on other artificial intelligence and digitalization projects to achieve our aspiration of being the easiest company to deal with. We will present them in the next few months. Digitalization is a good keyword to transfer to our smart plastics, which are also making it easier and easier for customers to monitor their equipment, from cranes to storage and retrieval units, to gantries and automotive plants, to shore power systems, to machine tools. They also make it easier to reach the right maintenance and efficiency decisions. Over to Richard for the smart plastics innovations.
Digitalization. On igus, we call it smart plastics. And by that, we're preventing unexpected downtimes in over 1,000 applications for over 20 years and have been provided customers with predictive maintenance information since 2018. The all-over objective is zero downtime. But digitalization, internet, pizza, the customers order their pizza in the internet, they bring in their money to the bank and call it online banking. But connecting the machine to the internet, they don't like. Connecting the machine to their internal network, yes, but it's difficult. And special, this topic, many customers, if we talk about it, how to integrate this existing technology, they ask us, hey, is there not anything simple? How it is possible to make a chain or whatever from igus more simple, smart, and to connect it to their PLC. So, and that is the reason why we invented our new low-cost sensor technology. For example, this is one for a gliding e-chain system. Yeah? It consists on the 3D printed part with conductive layers inside, and according to the wear on the side parts, we are able to give, by disconnecting this conductive layers, we are able to give clear steps, 100, 75, 50, 25% of the rest of life. By 25%, for example, customers could announce, okay, now start the process of replacement. And the really new thing is we connect that directly to existing customer PLC to the I/O ports. And the real great thing is the price of that technology. It's a very simple thing. And for gliding energy chains, this sensor starts, for example, on 250 euro. Yeah, this is digitalization on igus. But one last thing, we have a little bit more. Our engineers go ahead, and I'm very proud to present today another sensor. It's only 2.5 by 4 millimeter. The principle is the same. Conductive material will be disconnected, but it is possible to integrate it in all these polymer products, small energy chain, bearings, slewing rings, sliders, bar stock, tribo tape. All these things with a little hole inside, put this sensor inside, are in the future able to give their starters to customers' PLC or to other computers. And by that, it is possible to not longer replacing for the customer. It's possible that they not longer replace the product based on maintenance intervals. No, it is possible to change the product only if it is necessary. By that, extending the lifetime, and every month's extended lifetime, every prevented service drive will save our climate. Yeah, it will help us to come our target of climate neutrality more closer fast. And probably, Michael, that is your next topic. Back to you.
Moving energy made easy for the circular economy. CO2 footprint and climate-friendly production. We have also continued to dig into these issues over the past year. As a part of igus' own recycling program, The Change, we have been recycling energy chains that have been reached the end of their product life cycle for 4 years now. Since the program's launch, we have collected 32 tons of material. This year, we are launching the first energy chain made to 100% of recycled material, from ocean plastics to motion plastics. Our customers, whose purchasing decisions are increasingly influenced by ecological consideration, can look forward to the new Cradle e-chain range made entirely of recycled material that achieves almost the same strength. The product range includes 5 series and 28 chain types that can be delivered from stock. According to the Environment Product Declaration, CO2 is significantly reduced and saved through the sustainable raw material cycle. With our next innovation, igus eTract, we are dedicating ourselves to the field of electromobility. We have developed an automatic cable retraction system that can be integrated into all commercially available wallbox systems. This can make it even easier for end users to charge their cars, since they no longer have to worry about tangled cables. The system ensures that cables are always rolled up and tidy with additional protection in the form of cable-friendly plastic rollers and a defined bending radius. It can adapt to given parking situation because it's pivoted. The installation of charging cable is child's play and can also be carried out afterwards. And we have added another detail, a cable lock that prevents from accessing the expensive charging cable. Now we come to a world's first, the igus driving chain. With this innovation, igus is advancing into new dimensions for long energy supply travels. You could even say that it is almost entirely dissolves limits in travel distances of energy chains. The igus driving chain is the world's first powered e-chain system for long distances. In order to be efficiently transport goods, raw materials, products and containers, modern logistics systems in this area must meet more and more demanding requirements with respect to moving masses and dynamics in combination with service life and availability. The igus design studies presented here solves this problem with 2 new principles. Both versions are being further developed and tested. First, a wheel drive, a friction wheel drive which acts on the specially designed drive board of a new type of e-chain. An additional refinement is linear motion technology. The drive forces are transferred directly to the e-chain's board elements without a wheel drive. Typical systems are automatic stacker cranes for freight containers with lengths of up to 500 meters and speeds of up to 6 meters per second, and stacker reclaimer for conveying and handling raw materials with travels of over 1,000 meters. Both proposed solutions have economical design, so they do not require increased energy consumptions because the required push-pull forces are much lower. In theory, the driving chain is even reduced because the moving masses are smaller. The decisive factor in this innovative application of force by means of the board elements. System construction, installation and alignment are less complicated than with conventional guide trough systems. In principle, this solution has no limitation in terms of travel length, so unlimited energy supply systems could be set up. Rainer will now introduce more innovations related to highly flexible chainflex cables.
The Eastern Flat and chainflex safe clean system was already presented last year as a perfect combination for the cleanroom and semiconductor industry. The advantages compared to conventional e-chain systems are clearly described. Eastern Flat as well as chainflex clean is over 40% lighter than e-chain systems of the same size. This offers massive production advantages in the ever faster movements, for example semiconductor manufacturing. In addition, this unique closed system offers IP Cleanroom Class 1 certification. The Eastern Flat system is as modular as conventional e-chain systems. The Eastern Flat system is expandable, easily replacing of chainflex clean cables even with connectors, or adding or removing individual pods. With over 110 million test cycles in the laboratory, now tested and with 36 months guarantee. But what's new? The new and the so absolutely unique, the Eastern flat is available in combination with the AWM approved chainflex clean cables as a UL listed product according to L1382. In conclusion, this first listed energy chain system in the world that we know of. The customer can use it in all relevant clean room or high acceleration application without further testing by UL. From stock, simple, modular, tested and guaranteed for 36 months. This will change the cable market. High-end, non-flame retardant TPE cable with UL. Here you can see two cables in a highly dynamic chain system, developed for moving applications in the E-chain. And you will certainly know that in the past, if you had to have a product with UL approval, then one of the UL basic requirement was always the flame resistance, for example, for cables. Well, according to the NFPA, machine fires are the number 4 leading cause of fire in the industrial environment in the United States. Unclassified wires, including loose clamps, connections, overloads, and broken cables. But how can that be when the cables have UL and are flame retardant? For this, you have to deal with the subject of soft plastics in motions. To make a cable jacket flame retardant retardants are added to the basic jacket material. However, flame retardants can massively reduce the bending strength of a jacket material or jacket plastics. It means the flame retardants can lead to earlier jacket or cable jacket breakings and lead to fire. Okay, these are a lot of background informations. Therefore, we now come to the, let me say, revolution of the news. Because the igus approach with our high-end halogen-free and not flame-retardant chainflex cable is completely new. With the 3,800 square meter igus laboratory and in cooperation with the underwriters laboratories, we were able to develop and prove that our non-flame retardant TPE jacket cables last at least 25 to 40% longer than the same but flame retardant versions. This means with our halogen-free chainflex high-end cables, igus prevent fires from starting instead of minimizing the spread of the fire that has started. Because one thing is clear, once there has been a fire, the system must be repaired. In conclusion, with this, igus was the first manufacturer worldwide to obtain UL AWM approval for non-flame retardant cables for use in E-chains, and those offer the customer completely new possibilities in the area of high dynamic applications with UL approval, 36 months chainflex guarantee, including higher system availability.
Thank you, Rainer. And now we come to the innovations of our low-cost automation solutions. Alexander, please take over.
Let's solve the challenges of our time. We all have got the same challenges. On the one side, price pressure, more local production, one-piece production, extreme product diversity, so everyone has to automate in general. On the other side, no boring jobs, ergonomic inclusion. I think people expect answers. We are presenting a new solution today, available from today, the Rebel. This very beautiful robot. A 60 UF robot with cobot functions for 4,970 euro, made in Germany. Yes, that sounds unbelievable, but it works. It works through motion plastics. The core is motion plastic, the Tribo plastic wave gear. A plastic wave gear with BLDC motor, power electronics, and absolute encoder. Nearly 90% of all parts inside the Rebel are made from plastics. Components like the flex ring, ball bearings, and functional elements of the circuit board. Let's have a look into the details. The Rebel have got a payload of 2 kilograms, a maximum reach of 600 164 millimeters, a precision of plus minus 0.5 millimeters, and through plastic, for sure, extreme lightweight with 8.2 kilograms. There are many areas of applications for the Rebel. Quality control with camera, pick and place, research and education, but through the massive affordability, additionally completely new ones are available. Restaurant automation, agricultural application, distribution centers, for example, for food deliveries, they have to automate. I think the Rebel has got the potential of being a tool like a hammer that helps employees throughout the working day. But this is not the end. We made the Rebel smart with smart plastics. From now on, there's a live status management available via the cloud for wear monitoring or just for webcam connection. The whole thing can be configured immediately with suitable grippers and cameras on the igus-powered marketplace RBTX.com. You can get a live price or compatibility guarantee. Additionally, for everyone who wants to use this open source with ROS nodes or other integrations for MathLab, Simulink, or, for example, DaisyLab. The open source version of the Rebel starts from 3,970 euros. Let's solve the challenges of our time. Be an automation hero with low-cost automation.
Thank you, Alexander. The RBTX marketplace platform for low-cost automation starts to become a big success. We have plans to offer it in 15 countries worldwide by the end of the year. And the pandemic, the COVID pandemic, made possible that customers take remote services really seriously. This service here on the platform, the RBT Expert, a remote integration service with a fixed price, where customers very often get complete automation solution for 8,000–9,000 euros, including everything, gripper, camera, conveyor belt, wouldn't have been possible 2.5 years ago. And just in Germany alone, last week we did 28 such remote projects in 1 week. But it's also nice to be at the end of the pandemic in many areas. So we welcome you very much to the physical Hanover show, starting in Hanover the 30th of May. You'll see all the products we talked about in a large booth. You can touch them, feel them, discuss them, try them. We also have a Vector Award ceremony on Wednesday. And yeah, if some of you travel again and can travel, we welcome you very much. Oh, and there's one more news that we'll wait for until the Hanover show. We'll introduce on the first day of the Hanover show, May 30th, what we think could be a sensation for the bicycle industry. And two of our main benefits, Improve What Moves and Zero Plastic Waste, are a big part of that. We have an extra press conference on the booth on this product on Monday morning, May 30th in Hanover. Thank you very much, really very much for your presence today, and I'll give it to Alexa for the round of questioning, and I'll be there too. Thank you very much.